Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the Nike SNKRS app draw system and how you can improve your chances of actually taking W's on these draws. Now, a lot of you guys have been requesting that I make this video because we're no longer doing the LEO system or the first come first serve system on sneakers, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. I know if you've been taking L after L after L on these draws, you might not feel that way, but after I explain and then give you guys these 10 tips that are going to increase your chances, I guarantee you it's going to change some of your minds. Now, some of these tips might be things you already know and already do, but I guarantee you there's a tip in here that's going to help you out and probably turn your luck around. So before I get into all of that, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on all of the other sneakers tip content, unboxings, and all of the other stuff that I have here on the channel. Also, join the Discord by hitting the link down in the description below. It is a free group that I run where a lot of you guys from the YouTube and my Instagram and stuff all come together, help each other out, talk through things, sell each other's shoes, all that type of stuff. So join the Discord. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and start talking about the Nike SNKRS draw system. What is it? So it is a 10-minute window of a shoe drop where Nike basically allows everyone, every single account, to enter a draw. And what happens during those 10 minutes, right? Everybody is entering, trying to cop a pair, right? They're getting their chance. They're getting their raffle ticket, basically, right? And what Nike is doing during that 10 minutes is it starts filtering out accounts and sorting accounts into different groups. What it is doing is it's looking for flagged accounts, sus accounts, accounts that are on like weird proxies and different IPs and things that aren't matching, things that look like bot accounts, inactive accounts, and it's getting all of those accounts out of it. They're basically disqualifying all those accounts, and they're trying to get a group of real people. And say there was 10 million people entered to get the shoes, they filter it down to about 7 million, right? So 3 million bad accounts, boom, now you got 7 million. And out of those 7 million, they start grouping them up into the different sizes that they're going for. Say hypothetically 1 million people went for size 10 and they got 100,000 size 10s. These aren't real numbers, I'm just throwing it out there, right? Now they'll start basically lottering off the size 10s to those people. So again, if 1 million people, 100,000 shoes, not everybody's gonna get one, but they're gonna start basically pulling a name, giving them a size shoe, pulling a name, basically like pulling raffle tickets. So it gives a manual user hypothetically better odds of hitting because it filters out all those other bad accounts and stop the botters from being able to just cop in the first second before a manual user could even type what size they're trying to get. So that's kind of what's going on. They're filtering down the accounts and then they start doing the lottery to the winners. Now, there are some things that you can do to make your account not seem like a sus account or like a bot account or like an inactive account or all of those other things that are getting filtered, because for all you know, you might be taking L's because Nike has considered your account sus or a bot account or whatever it is that they're filtering out, and you might just be getting straight up DQ'd without even knowing it. So we're going to try to avoid that by doing a few things. So first things first, make your account active, and the way that you do this is by going on the SNKRS app, and you're going to be doing a few things. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull up the Nike SNKRS website, and we're going to talk about a couple of these things. So in order to have an active account, there's a few things that you need to do. You need to go on the SNKRS app daily, and I would say spend a minimum 5 to 6 minutes on actual app. And what you're doing on this app is not just leaving the app open, is you're going around and you're selecting notify me on the pairs that you want. You're hitting the little heart if you're on the mobile, you're hitting notify me, and then the next thing that you want to do is actually go through some of these kick checks and grail tails and other stories and polls and things that Nike has for you to engage with. They like the engagement. Engagement tells them that you are a real user who is a real sneakerhead who is actively participating on their app. So your account will be considered active because there is daily screen time being used, and you're actively selecting shoes that you want and that you're going for. Also, a side note, if you're hitting notify me, you are entering yourself in the possibility of getting exclusive access for that shoe later when that comes around. In order to get exclusive access for a shoe, like hypothetically these deep royal ambushes, only the people that selected the heart and the notify me are able to get the exclusive access when that happens. Now, if you don't have notify me, you won't get exclusive access, because to Nike, it looks like you're not interested in that shoe, so they're not going to give you even a chance at potentially getting the early access for it. So that's just a side note there. But yeah, just overall accumulating activity on your account and making sure that you are consistent with that, so that way you are not considered a bot or an inactive account that isn't there. They want to reward the people who are actively using their account daily. The next tip that I have for you guys is to wait before you join the draw. Now, if you try to join the draw the very first second that it drops, right at like 9:59 on the counter, you already entered the draw, you're like, whoa, first one to enter the draw, that helps me out, right? No. Now, like I said, during those 10 minutes, they are filtering out accounts that seem like bot accounts, right? If you instantly autofill the information and you enter that draw within like the first few seconds, the first minute, you could get flagged as a potential bot account that has been set up to enter the draw. And what I like to do is to wait about 2 to 3 minutes before. I'll wait till it says 7 minutes or 6 minutes left, and then I'll enter the draw. And then every time I enter a draw going forward, I kind of do it a little bit different time. I don't do it every time at exactly 7 minutes into the draw, 3 minutes into the draw. I just kind of make it random, seem like I'm a regular person who just kind of got to it and filled it out and got it done. That way I'm not getting flagged as a bot account that is very concise on the time or always filling out the information at the exact same time and things like that. They have very, very, sophisticated technology that is trying to combat the botters and trying to make sure that manual users hit. So you want to kind of be random and be sporadic with when you join the draw. Now, there's another benefit, because since you have 10 minutes to really join the draw, most other shoe sites drop their shoes the same exact time as the sneakers app, right? For Eastern time users like myself, it's 10 a.m. Eastern. So instead of going straight to the sneakers draw, I know I have about 2, 3, 4 minutes where I'm going to wait before I enter the draw. I'm trying to hit on other foot sites that are first come, first serve and try my luck there. And then I go to the sneakers draw and do that. So I basically get other odds at other sites and then come and still enter the sneakers draw at not a very sus kind of time. The next big tip for the sneakers draw is using multiple accounts. Now, there are a few things that kind of go into using multiple accounts, and we're going to talk about that. But if you have a second or a third account, you have 2 or 3 chances in the draw now when they're doing the lottery to pull names. There's 3 of your little accounts out there, and they might pull 1 or they might pull 2, or if you're lucky, you might win on all of them. I personally use a few different accounts, and every time there's a draw, I almost always hit on a release pair because I have multiple chances out there and I'm trying for multiple different sizes and all of those type of things. So when you set up a new account, you have to verify with a mobile phone number. You have to have another phone number. So hypothetically, your main account is your cell phone number. Now, if you want to make a second account, maybe you could use your wife's, your girlfriend's, your friends, your best friends, your cousin, your coworker, anybody who's willing to basically confirm their phone number and send you the confirmation code. It doesn't really do anything with their personal information or their number too much at all. It just basically is trying to stop botters, right? They want real people who have real phone numbers to verify the accounts. So make a second account. Use somebody that you know, use their phone to make an account for you. And what you do is when you log in, you hit your draw entry. Then you switch accounts and use their login entry. And there you go. Now you got 2 chances. But it's not that simple, right? Because each account needs to have its own shipping address. So hypothetically, use, a parent's address to ship to, or a cousin, a friend, a coworker, whoever is the account you're using. Try to see if you can use their address to ship shoes. So if you hit and you pay for it, it might show up to their property and then you go and pick it up, right? Because now you have multiple accounts. You have different payment methods as well that you need to have. And when you start doing these things, now you definitely are increasing your odds because you have 2 different accounts with 2 different shipping addresses, 2 different names on it, 2 different payment methods, all these type of things. It starts making it where you're able to get better odds. Now, I've seen people use the same address, and what they do is they jig the address, right? Say they can't use a friend or a coworker's address. they use their own address twice, but they change the address, right? If you live on 123 Rainbow Road, for your main account, you would spell that properly. You would 123 Rainbow Road. For your second account, you'd put 123 Rainbow RD, 123 RD dot, or whatever. You know what I mean? You kind of change the address a little bit, so that way it's not duplicate information being picked up by the Nike system. When it's abbreviated or kind of changed just enough that it's still going to get there, but it's not identically copy and pasted on all these different accounts, that's when you're able to see some more results. The next thing that I would say you should do for your accounts is something that a lot of people don't do, and that is actually add some type of profile picture, come up with a unique screen name, and allow people to view your public profile, and add things like a bio. I put on mine like I'm a sneakerhead that likes skateboarding and Nike SB and Jordan shoes. I run a YouTube channel where I make unboxing videos and review videos, blah blah blah. Like, I made a bio. That's something bot accounts aren't doing, right? People who are botting aren't adding profile pictures and bios and all these type of things that really make you seem like a real human. So again, just taking the minute to personalize your account a little bit more while you're being active on the app and things like that is going to make your account have a lot better chance of hitting on the sneakers app. And I would do the same thing for my duplicate accounts as well. I would add a profile picture, a bio, some, you know, all these type of things you would do on every single one of your accounts. So it's kind of a lot to upkeep 3 to 4 accounts. But if you want those increased odds, that's something that you're going to have to do, right? It doesn't make sense to have one main account that's active and 3 accounts that you only ever try to use when you're just trying to do a draw, because those accounts are going to get flagged and not selected anyway. So again, keeping them all active, and like I said, taking into account those different things, the different payment methods, the different addresses, the different whatever. And when I say different payment methods, like use Apple Pay on one account, use PayPal on another account, or use one credit card on this one and one credit card on that one, those type of things, as well as opting in for the 2-day shipping or the 5-day shipping if that's available in your region. If you opt for a different shipping method, it can increase your odds, because again, that's just another thing that botters aren't doing. That's another thing that would signal to Nike that you're a real human, a real human account that is actively being used, and you're changing preferences and you're doing things like that. Those are going to increase your odds as well. This next tip is for the people that are using multiple accounts. This is kind of more of an advanced tip that is definitely going to help you not get your accounts flagged. And what this is when you use one account, you enter the draw, then you hit sign out. And what I like to do is, if I was on Wi-Fi when I first did the first entry, I will turn the Wi-Fi off and allow my phone to become connected to my cell signal, then log into the second account. So now I'm on different IP addresses as well. That's a little more complicated, one extra step, right? One account I use on Wi-Fi, the next account I use on cell signal. Now it's like really hard to detect that I was at the same place, the same time, the same IP address, all that type of stuff. So that's one less way to get flagged by Nike, which again makes your accounts seem more legitimate and give you a better odds. Now, this next tip may only apply to people who are trying to cop for resale, and I know some of you in the comments kind of hate resellers, and some of you guys are resellers, so I'm gonna give the tip regardless and try to help you guys out. But if you are copping for resale, pay attention to stock numbers of the shoes if those get leaked out. Some people's discords and cook groups get that information, or other YouTubers make those videos that say, hey, there's only this many pairs being made, this many for this size, that size. Pay attention to those, and if you're a reseller, don't go for the most in-demand size. One way that I like to look at it is I like to look at StockX for what size that I'm going to be going for if I'm reselling. Is I will pull up the shoe on StockX and I'll start looking at all of the recent sales. If I can't get a hold of the stock numbers, this is a very good tool to be able to figure out what size I want to go for. So if I look at all of these sales out of the last, I don't know, however many this is, about 30 sales, I am seeing a lot of the same number pop up. 9s, 9.5, 9.99, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. I'm seeing a lot of sizes, but what I'm not seeing is a lot of 13, a lot of 12, or a lot of 11, 11.5, right? I'm only seeing a handful of those. And now what that tells me is those size 9 and 8.5 and 10.5, those are very in high demand. Lots of people want them. Lots of people are going to be going for them, and they're already buying a ton of those. So I'm going to try for maybe a 13, right? If one out of the last 30 sales are a 13, maybe the 13 isn't in demand as much. So I'm going to go for it in hopes that I'm going to have better odds of hitting because less people are going for that size. It might not be as profitable as a size as maybe a size 9 is, but I'd rather take a little bit less profit than take an L completely. So paying attention to what the recent sales are and going for a different size than everybody else might increase your odds. Now, of course, you know, that can't be proven, but in my experience, that definitely works and helps. Instead of trying for the most hype size every single time and just taking an L on the most hype size, try out a different size, one that might not be in demand as much. For this next tip, ladies, you might not like that I'm kind of putting this out here, but I changed my shop preferences in the Nike SNKRS app from male to female. And I'm going to explain why right now and kind of show you guys. In the sneakers settings, I set it as women's for preferred shop settings, and I converted my shoe size from 13 to 14 and a half. So now it is automatically trying to cart me in a women's 14 and a half, which is a men's 13 if it is a men's size shoe. If it is a Dunk Low men's shoe, it's going to cart me a 13 men's. If it is a women's Dunk release, it's going to try to cart me a woman's 14 and a half, which would also fit me as a 13 male. So let's not get hung up on the sizing and converting what, blah, 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 because when you go to check out on your sneakers app, it still lets you pick whatever size you want in men's or women's, whatever. But this is what I have set it as, because Nike has made it clear that they are trying to put effort into allowing more women to be able to get pairs, and you know, they understand that the sneaker world and the sneaker culture is mostly men right now, and there are a lot of male resellers and stuff like that. So they're trying to give women an opportunity to hit their shoes and to be able to get them for themselves. So I changed the preference from a men's account to a woman's account and just converted my size. In my opinion, in my experience, this has worked for me. I've definitely gotten better odds. I know a lot of other people that have taken this advice from my sneakers tip video on how to cop on sneakers. They did the same thing, and I've gotten a lot of people that are like, wow, I switched from a men's account to a woman's account and I've hit a lot more pairs. So I definitely think that if you guys do this, it's going to help you out. So the next thing that I think you need to do in your Nike sneakers app or online is to change this setting here. Allow them to send you emails for their Nike products. Change your communication preferences to receive the emails and allow the messages. This, again, lets them know that you're a human account. You're receiving their little promotions and blah, 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 blah. But again, this definitely increases your odds of hitting because, again, it separates your account from the bot accounts that don't do this type of thing. For the next tip, make sure you are a Nike member. Get on the Nike site, nike.com/register, become a Nike member. Put your sneakers account information in here. Make sure you're a Nike's member. And what is the Nike membership? It's free. Obviously, you get some free shipping. You get Nike access on their Nike app. Sometimes they have some exclusive shoes on Nike app, blah, 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 that only Nike app people get to go for, and you get that a little early, kind of like exclusive access on sneakers, but they're normally not the most hype pairs, but every now and then they get something cool. But when you are a Nike member, that shows up on your Nike sneakers app that you are a Nike member, and that's one more thing that a lot of botters and a lot of people with bot accounts aren't doing. They're not taking that extra step just to sign up, and you get some more promotions in your email and all that type of stuff. But again, joining that Nike membership definitely separates your account from a lot of other people's accounts. And again, all of this is about making your account active, human, real, and engaging with the company, engaging with their apps, engaging with their software, so that way you're not getting disqualified on these draws. There are a significant less amount of accounts who are doing all of these things, and those are the accounts that are usually hitting on the sneakers app. So I'm sure this video has been kind of all over the place, and if you're really new to it, it could be a lot of information. And if you've been doing this for a while, you'd be like, wow, that's kind of simple. That's only a handful of things I got to change and mess with, and see how it goes. Let me know in the comments section down below if any of these tips have helped you. If you have any interesting points or things that you'd like to add to the conversation about this, I'm trying to keep up in the comments section with you guys and really talk about these type of things. and kind of have a back and forth and a conversation. If you have any other additional tips that you think help, I'm interested to hear those as well. But again, those are my top 10 tips on how to increase your chances of copying on a Nike sneakers draw. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Join the community. Once again, join the Discord, okay? I have over 2,000 or 3,000 members that have already joined from the YouTube channel into the Discord. And again, we help each other a lot. We talk about all these type of things. We talk about the sneakers W's and L's, the pairs that we've hit. We help each other sell pairs to each other, all these type of things. We have a great community there. So if you have questions, it's very, very easy to reach me or a bunch of people that I have as trusted sources for information on these type of things. We talk about what shoes to cop, what shoes to not. I do raffles there, I do giveaways there, and all that type of stuff. So stick around for all of that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.